I freshly watched Superman and Lois.
And what did you think of it?
I thought it was meh.
You thought it was meh?
Well, I like the violent parts where like Superman's brother tries to choke out his own nephew.
Of course. So
I was like, yeah, choke him out. Look at his big fat shaking.
The episode, the name of this episode was called the Ties That Bind. And basically in this episode, Superman is dealing with his own powers. He's having visions and that are causing him great pain. If you don't know, I believe this is going to lead into the
Doomsday?
The Doomsday storyline. We'll get to that eventually. Lois is kind of dealing with some professional stuff going on here, both in her professional life and home life, now that John Henry Irons and Natalie are back, are kind of staying with them because they're not on their Earth anymore. The brothers, Jordan is dealing with exactly what I said was going to happen between him and Sarah, and Jonathan is... kind of I feel like he's getting a back seat right now.
Yeah, he's like sidelined for now, but I honestly wish like they gave him superpowers too, because it's a superpower family.
It could happen. Well, him and his mom don't. It could happen down the line.
Well, Jonathan in the comic books has the superpowers, and like if you're caught up with this comic books, he kind of ages faster because a lot of time traveling.
That was just a way to age him up. That was seriously just a way to age him up.
That's true. That's true. But I kind of like that idea that he's kind of older.
It is funny that they think that the kid who plays Jonathan is 15, because there's no way that kid is 15.
No, I think he's the same age as me.
He's probably your age.
I'm gonna search that while you do that.
So basically, so after that, we've got to deal with the new general, who's just a dick to Superman. He's just a dick, and I hated it the first episode. Now I'm getting a kick out of it. All this stuff is going on. Though one thing more than ever, and by the way, the name of this episode is called The Ties That Bind. Not enough actual Superman.
Nope.
Okay, he's not. I understand that one of the selling points of this show in current year is you're dealing with a family, right? It's similar to Smallville. You're seeing him take on the role of dad, not just the role of Superman. But in the end, it's not called Lois and Clark, like the New Adventures of Lois and Clark. This is Superman and Lois, and I do think that they need to integrate more actual scenes with Superman. Part of me thinks that this... You okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry, I zoned out.
Oh, you're looking okay. Part of me thinks that a lot of this has to do with budgetary reasons, that they just can't afford to have him in uniform as much. Also, we've got the mayoral election storyline, which I personally hate, but I will say that at first I was annoyed, because as soon as they said that the guy that was going to run, that Lana Lang was going to run, was like, I got a job offer, right? And I'm like, oh, well, it would be cool if they got the husband to Kyle. He kind of took a back seat last year as almost not a bad guy, but like he's just kind of a jerk, but he's very supportive, and I was like, it'd be kind of cool because he's the fire chief. He's an important pillar of the community. But realistically, if we're looking at it from a story standpoint, what happens is basically they're looking like now Kyle and Lana are looking for a candidate to replace the one that they lost to run against this evil mayor that they all hate. The evil,
we can't win all of them.
Can't win. So they're looking for him, and I kind of assumed that what was going to happen was... Lana's going to run, right? And at first I was kind of annoyed. I'm like, this would be a great way to have Kyle have more to do. But realistically, Kyle is like the fire chief, but Lana doesn't really have a storyline right now. So it makes sense to give her that to do. I did think the line about him being like first husband of mayor of Smallville that was really cringe, as if there's never been a female mayor in the history of the world. Like, I mean, I get what he's saying of Smallville, but it just that line was really cringe.
For me, I don't know. I don't really like this episode that much. It was kind of boring.
The melodrama, it's getting weighed down. We should have seen this coming. Honestly, I don't know if maybe it was there last season, but because the show was so good that we didn't notice it as much. it felt more evenly paced last year. You get bogged down in the melodrama right now. One actor who is being absolutely critically underused is Wole Parks. I don't know. Again, I don't know how to pronounce that first name. I think it's Wole, but
I think
the guy who plays John Henry Irons is being criminally underused. He's a fantastic actor, and all his scenes with Lois are really, really good. But we're not seeing him in the steel suit, and I don't know if that's because they just don't have the budget to want to do it right now, or if they're going to work it in later when they have to deal with Doomsday. But I do think that he is being criminally underused. But the melodrama, like the school stuff, it's less noticeable when it's the school stuff.
Yeah.
Like when it's the kids in high school, I expect that.
Yeah.
Right. But when we're talking about like the election, all that stuff felt like melodrama to me, and it just didn't. It's not working in that respect. I am way more interested in what evil General Dickhead. I always forget his name. The name of that character. I have it written down here, but I've got I've literally got Superman and Lois open right here. The guy who plays Lieutenant Mitch Anderson, Ian Bohen. He's a fantastic actor, and he plays a jerk really, really, really well. And they're introducing these like prototype Supermen.
Yeah.
That are gifted people that they're training to be Superman. I think that's going really well. It's also missing a lot of Dylan Walsh as Sam Lane as Lois's dad, because he's a fantastic actor as well. But I would like to point out that I did call from well beyond the 3-point line what they were going to do with the Sarah Cushing storyline. That I was like, she's at camp. Of course they're going to make her have some type of weird coming of age experience and turn it into a storyline like this. And so of course she's been I guess bisexual her whole life, and she just didn't know it. So that fits in the context of being a coming of age story. But I guarantee you that a lot of people are going to be people will be unhappy with this because they're going to feel like the agenda is being pushed into their show. What I would caution them to give them a benefit of the doubt on is a lot of people were expecting them to turn Jordan. We're expecting Jordan to be gay because of the comics, right? But what they've done, because they were never going to do it with Jonathan. At least I didn't think they were going to do it with Jonathan.
Well, no, Jonathan's the gay.
No, in the comics. But I'm saying, but I thought what they were going to do is they were going to, because Hollywood, they love to subvert expectations. Yeah. Right. So I thought they were going to do it with Jordan because Jonathan is who you'd expect it from. But Jonathan is going full hormones right now with that. With that girl, what's that actress's name? Candice Pregande, Samantha DeFrancisco. Yeah. So Candice and him are like, see, we're talking about the melodrama. I feel like a 15-year-old girl right now.
Do you have a diary? I can write you.
One of the bright spots that I don't think gets a lot of attention is the lady who plays Lois's editor, the Chrissy character. Yeah, she's kind of fun. Like, she's kind of fun,
but like I like the scene where she's like, Lois, somebody, like a bunch of people from this podcast are calling us and they want answers. You told me you got your information from this unknown speaker.
So they're bringing her sister into it slowly but surely. I do believe that what they're doing with Sarah is they're going to push her to Natalie. That's going to be the storyline going forward. It's fine. It's like, if it's done right, that can work. But I don't like the idea. If Jonathan starts doing more, or I'm sorry, if Jonathan starts doing more stuff with Superman because he's got powers, I'm okay with that. Take him out of the melodrama and put him into more of like a trainer-trainee relationship with his dad. I do think that, did you enjoy the guy who plays Morgan Edge? If he had as much charisma as he had in this episode back in season 1, he wouldn't have been such a downside. Yeah, in my opinion, he was the weakest element of season 1. Was the guy who played Superman's brother. Yeah. So seeing him do this episode really well was like, where was this kind of charisma in season 1? So, and then we saw his mom. We saw, or their biological mother. Yeah. In that scene at the fortress. Did you like that scene?
No.
No?
Because, like, she was just there and she was telling, like, Superman's brother, like, stop that! You'll never be a father, Tal! And then after that, when Superman finally gets up from like his vision,
he's having those repeated the painful visions that hurt him.
Yeah, so basically when he got up, he's defending himself, like his son. He's like, me son, don't touch him. Yeah. And like his mom's like, stop doing that. And I'm like, dude, you're useless, get out. Yeah. Like she kind of reminds me of that voice in Zelda. I forgot, it's that glowing thing where it's like, hey, listen. It's kind of like that.
I think that's a hard thing when they're portrayed as like a hologram.
Yeah.
It's hard to really do that without it seeming really overacty.
Well, no, like you remember in the first season where they had Superman's father and he was a hologram?
Yeah.
You can do that.
Where, he did well. That guy did well.
I just think it depends on the actor if they can do it right or not. But I don't know. I felt like her character was annoying. Like overall, I did not like this episode. Yeah. And also another critique, our coworker Andrew, he was watching it with me. He's like, Superman looks too skinny.
If you they've refrained from doing a bunch of shots of him with his shirts off. He's in really good shape.
He is, but
he's just tall.
Yeah, but
I think he's just really tall.
I think he's taller than Henry Cavill, but I said the difference between the two is one is the movie Superman, who's more muscular, and then you have the superhero TV show one where he's more leaner because like they're trying to do like a whole storyline.
Also, it's like they do themselves a disservice by padding out that suit too much. Like his head looks really small in the suit.
Yeah, for sure.
You could explain it away and say maybe his muscles grow in the suit as a way of like.
No, it looks small.
No, but I'm saying, but his head. You know what I'm saying, right? His head is
Yeah,
so
I'm looking at it. Right
it doesn't really work. But he's not Henry Cavill. You can't really compare him the same way. Just like I wouldn't compare Bitsy Tulloch as Lois Lane to Amy Adams as Lois Lane. They're not the same thing. I do think that Lois had a better outing this episode with less of a volatile personality that was less annoying. You know? So I don't know. I want to see more of the lieutenant of the new general. I believe he's a general, but they call him Lieutenant Mitch Anderson. I want to see more of him. I want to see more of what they're doing with the Defense Force. And Superman being actually in costume.
Okay.
I guess. I want to see more of him doing actual Superman stuff.
Do they CGI it in, or it's actually like him wearing the costume?
Oh, that's a padded suit for sure. Yeah, that's not CGI. I was surprised, or not surprised. When you watch Batman, any of the Batman and Superman, well, no, any of the Zack Snyder Superman movies, like Man of Steel, and then when he did Batman vs Superman, the cape is CGI.
Yeah.
In this, the cape is real.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, like, if you watch in the scene in Batman vs Superman when Batman runs headlong into the tumbler, and there's this sweeping shot of Superman walking up to it and ripping the doors off. There's the cape moves in this ethereal manner that they wouldn't be able to do with the real one. So that's another thing that you might be noticing without even realizing it. The cape in the movies accentuates the character because it's done digitally. They can move it however they want. Yeah, you can't really do that here.
It's very godlike.
Yes, exactly, and they're not going for that here in that respect. So another thing to point out is this episode was directed by David Ramsey, who plays John Diggle in the Arrowverse. The guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's been taking his stab at directing. So I don't know if necessarily this is a fault of him, the directing. I think the writing is very melodramatic and it's starting to feel. Very CW like to
They
me.
Don't like money.
They don't like money.
They don't like it. They're like, here, this.
The CGI shots when they
trash.
The CGI shots when they have them are good.
Yeah, like when Jordan like flipped out and like used his laser eyes. Yeah, that was really cool.
That looked fine. The scene of Superman with the guy with the gunfire at the beginning saving the hostages. I mean that's all we really got of Superman was the scene in the fortress, and then that one scene at the beginning. It's like I'd like to get at least 3 scenes an episode of him actually in suit doing more actual Superman stuff. So nice. I also think a big thing is that I think it's just too crowded of a cast now. It's just too many people.
Also too many storylines.
Exactly. So
usually for shows that I consider good, you need only 2 storylines.
Yep. Like the show White Collar would always have a week-to-week episode, and then there would be an overarching plot that would go 1 to 2 seasons.
Yeah.
each, and they usually tied in some way at the end of the episode. So to me, I think you're right. I mean, I know it's a little bit different for but this isn't even that long of a season. I mean, they're going to probably do 17 episodes like the last one. White Collar did 12 to 15 a season, so they should be, I feel like they should condense down.
Well, they're going to do what they did with Riverdale. So Riverdale did like 3 storylines. Okay. Which, like, it was good the first season, but then when they kept on going like that, it kind of got messy. My worry is that, like, there's no like... does the focus go to the boys? I don't think that's the most compelling storyline. My guess would be that Steele and the daughter end up being sidelined the most, and that does a disservice to the actor who's playing John Henry Irons, because he's fantastic. The daughter will be involved, but it'll only be the story with Sarah. It's just it's not the most condensed, and it's not the most dumb. It's not the smoothest writing I've ever seen. So granted, we are only in episode 2, so I'm going to reserve judgment till farther down the line. For all we know, it could pick up. But the first 2 episodes haven't been nearly as strong, in my opinion, as season 1. No, it's not. And also, I did search up how old the actor for Jonathan is. He's 2 years younger than me. Okay, so he's still 21? 2021. Okay. Yeah. Also, Henry Cavill's actually taller than the is he? Tyler. Yeah. Okay. So Henry Cavill's 6'1", and then Tyler
is how tall?
5'11".
So basically 6 feet.
Yeah, basically.
Round up. With boots on, he's 6 feet.
Yeah, but I thought it was funny because I thought Henry Cavill would be shorter, but no, he's giant.
Taller. He's just a freaking monster.
Exactly. He's a giant.
He should play Doomsday.
That'd be so funny. Plot twist: Superman is actually Doomsday.
And they bring in Henry Cavill to do it. Yeah. They have to spend the entire budget on getting him for like 2 days to shoot his scenes because he probably costs so damn much. Actually, he loves these characters so much he'd probably do it for like next to nothing.
Yeah, so. He would. There's like a famous quote by him where basically he said, I would definitely choose this role, which is the man from Uncle. Yep. To contrary to Superman. So not bad. Like he's such a big nerd. I want to see him in more action in comic book movies.
He probably will. He'll do more after Superman, especially once they realize that DC just has no interest in actually using him right. They've got like a gazillion Supermans.
Do you think
now.
they're going to hire him in Marvel? Because usually that's the pattern. Like every good actor, like 1 or 2 of them will come from DC and then they go to Marvel, or they're in Marvel but they play terrible roles. Like for example, Ryan Reynolds did the terrible Deadpool rendition, the first one in X-Men, and then he
was also in Blade 3.
Oh yeah, he was. Yep. I forgot about that. Yeah, but his character wasn't that memorable.
Memorable.
I can't word.
I can't word today.
That should be a merch line. Jessica.
I can't word today.
I can't English today. We're just gonna have like a whole sweater that just says all my famous quotes.
Should be just a bunch of the words you can't say and put those on a sweatshirt.
Or like the words I make up on spot.
Yeah, like rememberable.
Or like how I said classmanship.
Classmanship.
You didn't believe it was a real word, and I was like, it's a real word.
You didn't know that though. You're totally guessing.
It's the same thing when I made up the theory about the black spider.
That's you got lucky.
I was lucky. I was using my art skills.
Yeah. So this might pick up once Doomsday becomes more prevalent. Again, I worry about they're going to keep him vague because for as long as possible, because for budgetary reasons, I'm sure, because that's an expensive character to do, right? So my hope going forward is that they do not let John Henry Irons fall too far down the rabbit hole and be unused. I want them to reintroduce General Lane because Dylan Walsh is a fantastic actor. I want to see Superman in the Superman suit more frequently. And when Lois is doing this story with her sister, don't let it fall into melodrama. Keep it related to the reporting aspect of her career, because that's that's what people are there for Lois for, right? Yeah. We want to see her being an excellent reporter and doing her job. We want to see her and Clark being good parents, but. Like I said, as a premise, this is a very difficult show to balance. And remember, we just went through all that and we just completely forgot about the mayor thing. That's going to just be like, it's one of those storylines where like
it's sidelined.
Every episode something is going to get sidelined that needs more time. So.
Well, I think the mayor one is not that important. Yeah, it's important for
get it over with before the mid-season finale.
I think it's important for their town, but I don't think it's important for main storylines.
It's a poor use of Emmanuel Shrieky, who's a fantastic actress.
Yep.
I always point this out because when I know somebody's really talented, I want to see them given the opportunity to show that with that character. And the guy who plays I always forget his name, Kyle.
Yeah.
Eric Valdez. He's doing really good. Like, he's come around completely this season.
He's less douchebaggy.
Yeah, he's the good guy this year. Like, he's like, I'm like when he's like talking to Lois, I'm like, yeah, you be the supportive first husband of Smallville.
No, stop.
Even if I think that's a cheesy thing to do.
Stop with that.
Yeah.
No more of those titles. We don't need titles.
We don't need those titles anymore.
But yeah, I don't know. For me, I feel like all the female cast in this season is kind of annoying.
I mean, Lois was in episode 1, but that wasn't that was going to happen.
I just bad footing.
Sarah is definitely annoying.
Sarah is very annoying. I don't care for her character. Whoop-de-doo, you're a lesbian.
Technically, I think this makes her bisexual.
Whatever.
But I will say it is, I mean, she's not doing a bad job of portraying a confused teenager.
That's true.
It's just an annoying storyline that's overdone.
Also, it could be a jab at today's public system
I'm
because
sure.
like especially in high school, they kind of tell you like, oh, you might be actually trans, or oh, you might be bisexual. And also, it's like those are the years where you kind of pick and choose what you like.
You're figuring out who you are.
Yeah, you're trying to figure out who you are. So I kind of like it, but at the same time, I don't care for her character. Could we just sideline her and bring back Jonathan?
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens with Jonathan. Like, hopefully, if they're going to do this, and it's going to be like they're gonna like Jonathan and her are gonna break up, do it quickly. Don't drag it out.
I want him to have superpowers finally, because you remember in the first season, like
I said Jonathan. I meant Jordan.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of hard because they're both J names.
Yep. So,
let's just call Curly Kent.
No, I said Jonathan. Did I say Jonathan or did I say Jordan?
You said Jonathan.
Yeah, no, I want he has superpowers. Jonathan already has superpowers. I want, like, if they're going to break him and Sarah up, just do it quickly.
No, Jordan has superpowers.
No, Jordan.
You said Jonathan again.
Jonathan has superpowers. Jordan does not.
What? No. Go back.
Oh, did I have it? I have it wrong. Yes,
you had it confused.
You're right. I'm losing my mind today. It's one of those days. Jordan has superpowers. Jonathan does not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just.
Well, you're confused because the real actor who plays Jonathan's named Jordan.
Yes.
In real life.
Could have been.
Which would have been funny if they cast him as Jordan.
That would have been funny. So it man, my brain just melted right there.
It's okay, but remember, Jordan has the superpowers.
Yes.
Jonathan doesn't. I would love to have Jonathan have superpowers, because in season 1, it kind of made it out like in the first episode that he was going to have superpowers.
Yeah, because he's really good at football.
Yeah, but like he also ripped a rope in half of a football.
No
5-year-old can do that.
That is true. I take the opposite view. I want to keep him depowered with Lois and have them have to do more humane, like, everyday person ways of helping the family, right? So I'd like to see how they have to handle being in a family with that, with a father and a brother who have superpowers. So I would prefer if they kept him without them and just let him be really good at football. And have to help his dad any way he can, but not through powers. So even though obviously it would be more comic book accurate if Jonathan had them. So
I don't know. It might be good. I don't know. For me, I just don't like this new season.
Well, we'll see. We will keep an eye on it. We'll watch the episode next week. I still have more faith for Peacemaker, which.
Oh yeah, we're gonna watch that tonight.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
I believe it's tomorrow.
Okay, because Brian really wants to watch it with us and also continue watching Kung Fu. We're not reviewing that show. That show's terrible. We're just watching it for guilty pleasure.
Hate watching it.
Yep.
I hate watching Kung Fu. Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.
Bye.